British Columbia Institute of Technology acknowledges that our campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish nations of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh.
Good morning. My name is Selena Teixeira, and here's your latest headlines for the morning. The City of North Vancouver has officially begun the first phase of their new parking implementation in the Lonsdale area. Our reporter Braden Coombs explains how this may affect many workers' commutes. A spokeswoman for a BC ostrich farm whose flock is set to be culled over concerns about the avian flu says her family is still holding on to hope. RCMP moved into an enclosure on Tuesday where Katie Pasitny and her mother stayed overnight. Police say that they were not arrested under the Health of Animals Act and processed before being released, after which they were allowed to return home but not go back into the enclosure. Pasitny has been regularly posting videos on social media, pleading with the Canadian Food Inspection Agency to cancel the cull. The BC Green Party is expected to announce its new leader today. The three competing candidates for the position are Adam Bremer-Atkins, Jonathan Kerr, and Emily Loan. The winner will replace Sonia Furstenau, who stepped down after last year's provincial election when she lost her bid for a seat in Victoria. Both Loan and Bremer-Atkins have talked about moving the party to the left by describing themselves as progressive voices, while Kerr sees himself as a more moderate voice. The Alberta government says it has struck a tentative deal with the union representing 51,000 teachers province-wide 2 weeks before they begin their strike. The Finance Minister, Nate Horner, says the offer needs to be ratified by the members of the Alberta Teachers Association, and a vote is to take place in the next coming days. Talks halted over salaries and investments demanded by teachers to reduce classroom sizes and address the teaching complexities. Horner, in a statement, declined to go into specifics on what's now on the table, but says the offer is good for Alberta's education system. The province's previous offer included hiring 3,000 more teachers and a 12% pay boost over the 4 years. Now on to international news. The Trump administration has made a decision to repurpose an old chemotherapy drug for autism. This surprised many experts, parents, and the physician who recently proposed the idea. Dr. Richard Fry tells the Associated Press he was surprised by Monday's abrupt announcement promoting a generic drug as an option for autism. The child neurologist has been discussing further research and a development of a new version specifically for autistic patients. Instead, the Trump administration says it would relabel already existing versions on the market. It's another example of the dangerous rollout of the administration's autism announcement. At the UN General Assembly address, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says the world is in its most destructive arms race in history after his attempts to settle the war in Russia. He called on the international community to act against Russia now, asserting that Vladimir Putin wants to expand his war in Europe. Zelensky's comments came a day after he met with President Donald Trump, who expressed support for Ukraine's efforts and criticized Russia. Trump said Tuesday he believed Ukraine could win back all the territory lost to Russia, a dramatic shift from the U.S. leader's repeated calls for Kyiv to make concessions to end the war.
Ukrainians are peaceful people, but they are people who want to live freely in their own independent country. That's why we invest in defense. For many nations, there is simply no other way left.
Typhoon Regesa, one of the strongest storms to hit Asia in years, has caused massive destruction in Taiwan and the Philippines before slamming ashore in southern China. In Taiwan, 17 people died in a county that was hit by floods, and 10 deaths were reported in the northern Philippines, relocating nearly 1.9 million residents in China's Guangdong province. Currently, the weather is mainly sunny and will reach a high of 20 degrees in a few hours as we begin to prepare for the rain tomorrow and for the rest of the week. Those were your latest headlines for the morning. I'm your host, Selena Teixeira, and you're listening to BCIT's The Crow.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.
It's your career, your vision, your goal. Navigate it your way. Flexible learning is designed for you. Learn a new skill or earn a degree at your own pace. BCIT, flexible learning for a complex world.